Welcome. As we enter week 3, I'd like to review some material with you and keep you focused as to where you should be in the course and what you should be doing. So first, let's take a look at the checklist from last week, week 2. You should have now read in week 1, chapters 1 and 2, and in week 2, chapters 3 and 4 of your text. You should have reviewed Brown's oral stages of development, not only in our text, but in the additional handouts and links in your Blackboard course. Most importantly, you should have identified your student that you will be using for the taping, and hopefully plan on doing that taping this week. Review the information in this assignment found in week 1 under the Activities and Assignments folder. You should also be planning for your oral language calendar, which we will be discussing in greater detail today. And finally, you should be looking for your article that will be appropriate to use in writing your theory reflection paper. And remember, you're focusing on language and its development. So here I am back in the Activities and Assignment area. Remember, we get here from the Assignments tab in Blackboard on the left. And now I am in week 2, and I have opened the folder called Activities and Assignments. And I went back to week 2 so that we could discuss some of the oral language calendar ideas. On this page, you have several websites that will help you. Remember, you are completing a calendar for 1 month, including oral language activities for each school day of the month that is appropriate for the age level of your choice. So hopefully you'll do something that you can really use with your own students. Make it user-friendly, make it fun to read, make it attractive. Be sure that the activities are well connected around a plan for developing the student's oral language and support this development in the classroom. This is due next week on the 19th. And we also have a chat scheduled for that day as well. So let's take a look. This first website gives us some ideas for oral language activities. Games in circles, time activities that build receptive language. So you can click on any of these and think, could I incorporate this into my calendar in some way, and would it be appropriate? And these are all sites that promote literacy and language. You might want to click on left and see if there's something else that is appropriate for you. The next link takes us to activities that encourage speech and language development, and this is divided by age. So we have things from birth to 2 years, 2 to 4 years, 4 to 6 years. So by looking through some of these, again, you might find a nice activity that you can place on your calendar. Another website for languages and ideas, and actually that is the same one that we just looked at, so let's, or maybe not, yeah, it is, excuse that. Another website for developing language is this website with ideas for poems, rhymes, listening, taking turns. You can see there's some language development here specifically. And again, hopefully you will get some motivation. So more ideas, and these are all live links that will take you to additional sites. again, are lots of activities. Choose the ones that are appropriate for developing language and find a way to incorporate those into your daily calendar. I'm sure what will be helpful is looking at some samples. So let's do that together now. Now, I'm not saying that each of these samples earned an A, but they should give you some food for thought. So let's open up the first sample. And you can see that this is a first grade language calendar for the month of October. So each space on the calendar has an activity. But notice this wouldn't be enough, because if I were looking at this, Old MacDonald had a box. Well, I don't know what to do with that, and I want everybody to be able to share these calendars and use them, perhaps in your own classroom. So if we look down, the items that needed explanation and directions are beneath this calendar. So that makes it much more user-friendly and something that we can share with our colleagues. The next sample not quite as colorful, but notice this is actually for an older grade. So you would want it to look obviously a little bit more mature. This was for 7th grade. And again, lots of good activities, good explanation, but there is an attached handout to show us how each of these will be used. And that is exactly what I expect from each of you. And finally, one last sample. Okay, this is for a first grade class, and that might not jump off the page at you since it's in a calendar box, so you decide whether that's a good thing or a bad thing. And we start here with word wall, Wheel of Fortune, and you can see something for each day. Second page, activities, everything explained. What will the directions be? What will the teacher say? What will the class or the student do? So, what I'm going to do, I've decided that rather than just submitting these to me, we should be sharing these calendars with each other and perhaps giving each other some good ideas. So I'm going to have another link on the discussion board that says calendar sharing. And I'm going to ask you to post your calendar there as well as submitting to me. So let's take a look at our checklist for week 3. And please remember that I've changed the assignments to be due on Mondays, not Sundays. So this week, you should have read or be reading Chapter 5 in your text. Next week, your oral language calendar is due. You should know who you are using for your taping. You should be working to complete your reflection theory paper, but I have made that due in week 5, not week 4. Review the grammatical morphemes document and review your readings on the function of language. And of course, do not forget to participate in the discussion board. Week 3's readings and resources gives you some links to websites on language, on morphemes, on the function of language, and a very good checklist for looking at receptive and expressive language, which may be useful in your own work. There is a short video to watch on language development that deals with how we develop grammar in language, and additional activities for your oral language calendar if you're still working on that. That's it for us for today. I hope that you are keeping up, following along, and as you can see, the semester tends to go very fast at this time of year, and you need to be keeping up with your work because things become due at a rapid pace. I'll be talking to you again soon, and please email me or give me a call if you have any questions in the meantime. Thanks a lot.